Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations from Stritch. We only have a few more shows until we take our summer break. You can see behind me, when you get the widescreen, you'll even see more of it, but we're celebrating. So the balloons behind me, we just want to say congratulations to all of our students and faculty and staff for making it through the spring semester. We only have a couple more days of finals, but it is commencement weekend this weekend, and so we're celebrating all of our graduates, their families, and friends. So please make sure you check out all the festivities on lewisu.edu for times about commencement and reminders that depending on which college you're in, I know you've received 10 emails about this, but depending on your college, either in the morning or afternoon if you're an undergrad, Friday night for the graduate students. But all those times and places are on lewisu.edu. We are excited that we have already started our commencement celebrations. Last weekend we had our commencement mass on Sunday at 11 a.m. We also, this past week, welcomed our trustees on Monday to campus for their annual meeting, where we elected new officers, approved the working budget for next year, and also approved a group of professors for tenure. We have an amazing group of faculty here, and we're able to both promote some of them and grant tenure to some. The other thing, next week, we will, for our faculty, have May Institute, which will occur, and we're really grateful. I just want to say how grateful I am to all the faculty and staff who will be sharing their professional expertise with their colleagues on a whole host of issues. It's a great opportunity for our faculty in terms of professional development. As always, I am joined by Dr. Christopher Sint, my co-host, and he has a few announcements to make.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be with you, and now we have our view of the entire set of decorations. Yes. So thank you, everyone who helped put the set together today. And thank you for remembering May Institute. We're really focused on this weekend, and it's kind of amazing. When we're here next Thursday, May Institute will be finishing up. So I'm glad you mentioned it. It's a really extraordinary thing. And just a reminder to faculty and staff who are watching, everyone is invited. If you have the time in your schedule or can set aside some time, it's an incredible lineup of different learning opportunities for all of us. I really look forward to it. I believe that Tuesday is virtual and Wednesday is in person. So check that out. We're really excited to welcome Kay Cannon to campus this week, both as a commencement speaker and in a special appearance tomorrow from 1 to 2:30 in the Philip Lynch Theater. So if you're not going, if you don't have tickets or not graduating and want to meet Kay Cannon or listen to her talk a little bit or have a question for her, please go to the Philip Lynch Theater tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and there should be seats available for everyone who wants to go. Just a reminder, Kay Cannon has a bachelor's degree in theater and a master's degree in education from Lewis and was a scholarship track athlete. She is a writer, actress, director, producer of Cinderella, the Pitch Perfect film series, 30 Rock, and New Girl, and she will be receiving an honorary doctorate in our ceremony on Saturday. I really only have one other piece of news to share in addition to everything we just mentioned. Several Lewis University education programs, including the Early Childhood program, Special Education program, and the Elementary Education and Learning Behavior Specialist 1, recently received a 2021 exemplary designation and have been reauthorized with distinction in its Illinois Educator Preparation Profile by the Illinois State Board of Education. So that's really complicated bunch of language, but it just essentially means that the Board of Education authorizes us to teach teachers how to be great teachers, and that exemplary notation is the highest evaluation you can get from the Illinois, from the state. And so we're not surprised. Nope. It's a Lasallian institution. LaSalle is the patron saint of education, but it's wonderful to see our Department of Education recognized. I believe one of our guests today, by the way, works in the Department of Education.
We're going to have
at
some
Lewis,
opportunities
and
to talk about it.
maybe he
Yeah.
is partly responsible for this designation. So again, the 2021 designation of commendable was attributed to a couple of other of our programs. So athletics is
athletics is winding up.
down.
It is kind of winding down. So we do want to congratulate our teams, their coaches, trainers, the administrators for an amazing year of athletics. This past week, softball, men's and women's tennis, men's and women's golf, and men's and women's bowling all ended their seasons. They had really amazing spring seasons across the board. Women's golf finished 13th at the NCAA East Regional, and women's bowling finished ranked 20th in the country and 4th among Division II and III schools. Really an incredible accomplishment for a program that's only been around for a couple of years. So congratulations to all of our women bowlers and coach, and again, trainers and everybody involved in bringing that program into a top 5 ranking at the end of the season among those Division II and III programs. It's really an incredible feat. We have a few remaining contests. A few of our teams are still active, even though it's finals week and we only have a couple more days before summer school starts. We do have track and field will be competing in the GLVC championships this weekend in Bolivar, Missouri. And baseball will host Wayne State over the weekend. And then next week we'll start the GLVC tournament. They made the GLVC tournament, just made the cut of those top 8 teams. As always, we have a little bit of updates around COVID. So Dr. Sent, if you can lead us through that.
Absolutely. So we have our usual readout of the COVID statistics. We have we have 217 per 100,000 cases. This week which is a little bit of an increase from last week. Our positivity rate is 8%, and again, a reminder that our new metric that relates more to hospitalizations still puts us in the low category in Will County. We've had just a handful of positive cases this week, and the vaccination rates in the county and in our own population continue to be similar from week to week. And just a reminder of the current policies that we have in place. Face coverings required only in classrooms and labs and other identified locations. The booster status is required. We still need to continue to submit testing results before Thursdays. One change is that this week we have testing from 9 to 4 on Monday through Friday. And that will change to Monday through Thursday, 9 to 12, starting next week, May 9th. And it always use the app to report a positive test, symptoms, or upload vaccination or booster status. And then a reminder that starting on Monday, May 9th, we will be mask optional and mask friendly in all spaces on our campuses. The members of the community are encouraged to stay up to date on COVID-19 vaccinations. And we'll continue to follow state orders and CDC guidelines regarding vaccinations as they evolve over the next year. The testing is required. The requirement for those individuals who are not vaccinated to be tested will continue through May 28th. That was an announcement by the state of Illinois, by the governor's office at the end of last week. So that will continue through May 28th. And then the members of our community are required to share their status, report positive cases, and continue to follow all aspects of the Flyers promise. So thank you so much for all that, and really excited to get to our focus for the day, which is really about what is on everyone's mind at the moment, which is commencement. So I'm going to introduce our 2 guests, and then we'll talk to them together. Loralei Summers is our Lasallian Commencement Speaker. Loralei was the recipient of the 2021 De La Salle Medallion for Excellence in Justice Advocacy In addition, she is Catholic Relief Services Student President, Lasallian Justice Coalition co-leader, and a member of the Interfaith Cooperation Committee. Juan Chavira is our Father Aquinas Colgan Award winner. He's a physics and mechanical engineering major, which is a joint program we have with Illinois Institute of Technology. He's worked in the Department of Education since 2019, as I mentioned, and served as the treasurer of the Society of Physics Students and volunteered as a teaching assistant in physics. So a little bit about that, about the Lasallian Commencement Speaker. Each semester, Lewis offers an undergraduate student the opportunity to deliver the Lasallian Student Commencement Address. The student chosen for this honor is asked to speak about how the Catholic and Lasallian mission of Lewis University has had an impact on the speaker's college experience. And then about the Father Colgan Award, that is a long Lewis tradition dating back to the 1950s. And the Colgan Award has been presented to an outstanding undergraduate student at each of the university's commencement exercises, as I said, since 1955. The award recognizes a graduating senior who has demonstrated personal and intellectual growth during his or her time at Lewis. So, Loralei, Juan, welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the
It's
show.
great to be with you.
We're really great
Thank you.
to have you, excited to have you. Yeah, I mean, maybe we can start with a little background from each of you for people that are watching. Dr. Sint went through a little bit about your accomplishments here, what really, in some sense, maybe what you've been doing the last couple of years. But maybe you could talk a little bit about how you decided on Lewis and how you decided on your major. And even, I'd be interested in, from both of you, kind of that, maybe we can expand on it, but like how you chose the things you got involved in, because you've both been involved in significant things. And did you know that as a first-year student, or was it something that, expanded as you got to be sophomore, junior, et cetera? So, Loralei, maybe we can start with you.
Yeah.
So maybe
guess,
why
I know.
Lewis, and then why the major you picked,
Yeah.
and that led you into this really amazing accomplishments over the
Well,
years.
thank you. So I first started at Lewis as an ultrasound tech major.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
I had no idea what I wanted to do in high school. I knew I wanted to do something that revolved like helping people. And so I thought like, hey, this sounds kind of cool. I can make money and, do something interesting. And then I realized that I'd have to deal with people. And so I thought that maybe that wasn't my best thing, dealing with angry people. Probably you're not happy when you're in the hospital. And so, and also like just different things revolving around like pregnant women and like what I'd have to explain to them. And I can explain to them as part of the major. And so I found a love for microbiology. And my sophomore year, right before COVID hit, since we don't have like specific programs in biology. And so I am now a biology major, graduating, crazy. And I really just like microbiology, immunology, and so a lot of my electives have been around that.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Juan, what about you? Did you know you wanted to be in engineering from the start?
I came in, with that. I wanted to pursue something in STEM. And I know my first semester I came in and I felt like the dumbest kid in the world because it was just so difficult. The classes were so challenging and I felt completely lost. And I was debating on switching majors because it was that bad. But I talked to Dr. Hooper and we had a talk that I remember so clearly where he sat me down and he just was super honest with me and told me like it's supposed to be hard. It's not going to be a piece of cake. And he made me realize that it's a work, like whatever you put in is what you get out of it. And I decided to keep pursuing it, and now I'm here, now I'm graduating.
And I want to, there's, because my guess is, Dr. Hooper, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but here's what I'm guessing he said. This is going to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. Yeah, maybe you got some bad grades. You're a little demoralized. But my guess is that he also said, and I believe you can do it. Did he
Yeah.
say, I mean,
It
well, it
wa-
wasn't just like, this is going to be hard, and
No,
then
yeah.
leave it there.
He said, I believe you could do it, but more importantly, it's like it's like what you believe you could do and what you're capable of. And he gave me the option to leave. He wasn't like sweet about it. He told me, believe in yourself. I believe in you. I know you could do it, but
Right.
you gotta believe in yourself.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so I'm gonna let Dr. Sint maybe ask some follow-up questions. We did have one thing that came in.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So a reminder that the askus@lewis.edu email is on the screen, and you can write into that right now if you're watching and ask our guests questions or correct me in the many mistakes that I make when I say things. One of them is that our vaccine clinic next week is Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 9 to 12.
We've been used to having it.
And I
Every
just
day,
said it was
yeah.
on Monday
Got it.
through Thursday.
Got
So it's not on Wednesday next week. So don't put that on your calendar. But please use that. And even if you're watching on YouTube after this is over, you can still ask our guests questions and we can send them to them.
Yes.
Or you can give them a comment. Or if you want to ask us a question, please do that as well. It's an email address that goes to us at all times, not just during the show.
Oh boy.
So I didn't warn you about that part.
No, you didn't. That's all right.
So maybe I guess I want to know what some of the other challenges. Maybe you could answer this. Like what are some of the challenges that you had early on that you overcame, or?
Going from, so I was like the honors AP student at school, and so like school came easier for me. But then I go to college and it's like, whoa, there's not a GPA booster there. What's happening here? And then I realized I'd have to take chemistry as a biology student. I love chemistry, love you guys. But it wasn't my focus. And so taking chemistry along with biology and then organic chemistry, which I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Oh, he's a
But
chemistry major. I'm going to say it before.
Oh,
he
good.
does.
Oh my,
And I actually loved organic chemistry, but that
God
just shows how
bless you.
sick I am. Or
God
something.
bless
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I am not an organic chemistry
Yeah,
major, which is
totally
why
get it.
I like bacteria. It goes hand in hand, but yeah, and then COVID, oh gosh, and then COVID hit.
Sure.
And so that was just another downer on sophomore year, especially when you're trying to be yourself, and then it wasn't good. But it's fine, right? We're graduating.
Well, so
I'm happy.
can we expand on that a
Yeah,
little bit about from either one of you? Maybe Juan, you could start about how did COVID change your experience as a, over those last 2 years of being here?
Well, COVID really made you feel kind of like you were on your own, like you were just on a raft and you were just floating in the ocean by yourself, because everything was just, behind a screen, and you had your Zoom meetings and stuff. Well, by the time COVID hit, I was already at Illinois Tech, so this was my experiences at Illinois Tech. But Zoom meetings, like people would tell you to turn on the camera, but no one would. So you would just wake up, get out of bed, go to your computer, and just listen to the professor like half asleep. And that was really hard because you didn't really feel, like you had people to like help you out with. So that was a big struggle, I think.
Has this last semester been better for both of you? I mean, in terms of being able to reconnect friends, faculty, staff, I don't know, either.
Yeah, by far, since like the regulations have come down, I've met a lot more people and got connected with a lot more professors because of the restrictions going down.
How about you, Loralei?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, like, since I'm a commuter, I wasn't on campus during, I'm trying to think, even like fall of 2020, I was living on campus. I forgot, I lived on campus. So, I mean, but yeah, I was like in my dorm all the time. And I mean, I worked, it was hard, especially since we're both STEM, like doing labs. You can't do a lab online, and it was just a hot mess. And so, yeah, it wasn't my favorite college experience, but I mean,
And so
yeah.
has this last semester, I mean, I've seen you at several events in the last few weeks because you are winning multiple awards, which is awesome. But has this last semester and even maybe a little bit of the fall allowed you to get back into the lab, to go to meetings in person? Like I know you're, maybe you could talk a little bit about some of the non-curricular stuff that you do, the groups that you're leading. And did you make some decisions yourself about, because of your role, I think we should do this meeting in person now that it's changed over. I don't know if
I know what you mean. I definitely like having classes in person. They're not as easy anymore, but I mean, it happens. And so, I mean, because like you miss everyone. You miss seeing your teachers and your friends. And I actually work in the labs. And so it's nice, I mean, to see people. And not only that, but a lot of my organizations, it was difficult, of course, like me being a senior and having to juggle everything. And so a lot of them, they were in person, but a lot were also online just because it was for convenience, right? I mean, now that we have this amazing tool of Zoom, like it's just easier for us to just meet online.
yes.
So maybe, I wonder if you could talk a little bit, maybe Juan, you can go first, about some of the other activities that you've done on campus. And, I mentioned your job earlier, but, how did you engage in the campus environment while you were here, despite COVID and all these challenges that we just talked about?
Yeah, before COVID, I did a lot of stuff with the Society of Physics students, where we did a lot of stuff with the catapults and got together like every Friday and, like just talked about physics stuff.
I was just imagining that you were catapulting stuff every Friday.
Oh, no, like that was just after Halloween.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I didn't know you did it every week.
No, but yeah, that was just
Halloween, not Thanksgiving. Yes.
Yeah.
Not turkeys. It's not turkey catapults.
No.
It's pumpkins.
No, yeah, it'd be cool if it was turkeys.
Sorry, I interrupted you, but
But yeah, and then just being a part of the Department of Education, getting to see like, I would help professors out with preparing stuff they had to do with outreach events for their schools and stuff. And it made me really appreciate like teachers. You really have to have a passion if you want to be like a high school teacher. It's like, you couldn't pay me $1 million to do that. Like, that was bad. I felt so bad for them, but yeah, just.
Teaching high school with COVID or teaching high school in general?
Well, teaching high school today now with kids like on TikTok and having their phones out, like recording teachers all the time, like it's rough.
It's very noble work.
It is, yeah. So, so tell me a little bit about what is next for each of you. I'm interested in that, and then how the experience here has, from your point of view, prepared you for the next step in the journey. Even if and it may be that I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's going to be generally in this direction.
I know. I'm in 3 weeks. I'm leaving for Rhode Island. I got a teaching research assistant position at the University of Rhode Island, where I'll be pursuing my master's degree in mechanical engineering, doing research for the Department of Defense.
So now you can't tell me what it is?
I mean, I'll probably get like, there'll probably be a van that'll pull up every day and take me away, put a bag over my head.
Right.
But it's sort of, since it's on the coast, it's for submarine research and stuff. But,
Interesting. That's great. That's great.
But yeah, Lewis just made me, like prepared me with like, especially the chemistry classes, because for some reason the Gen Chem classes were the most like intensive with lab reports. Like I've never in all my 4 years experienced classes that demanding for lab reports for freshmen. It was crazy. But yeah, just being able to like, be in that laboratory setting and doing things properly. I know Lewis prepared me a lot for that.
That's great. Loralei, how about you?
I have a job at IDEX, which is a veterinary lab and diagnostic company up in Elmhurst. And so I'm going to be a lab assistant there, and then in the microbiology lab. And so hopefully during my time there, I want to pursue like a graduate degree in microbiology or immunology. And so that's the goal for right now.
That was great. I don't know if this is
Loralei,
another question.
while he's looking, can you talk a little bit more about stuff you did while you were here?
Yeah, what didn't I do?
I just said it in the past tense. You're still
Yeah,
here.
I'm still, yeah, for like a couple more days. So I forced myself to go talk to people in ministry. I'm personally not Catholic, and so it was scary to talk to Catholics, but you guys are pretty cool.
Thank you.
And so it's like, that's fine. And so I do music ministry, and so you guys have probably seen me at
Yeah.
Mass. I play the cello at Mass. I also play cello in Metropolitan Youth Symphony Orchestra.
Oh.
So that's, it's at Lewis. We perform at Lewis and like practice at Lewis, but it's for 6th through 12th grade orchestra and band students. And so I've been doing that the last 4 years. I also sing at choir sometimes for ministry.
Awesome.
And that's how I got involved with social justice mainly, like my
Okay.
freshman year. That was something
So
I'm really,
ministry was your
yeah, it was.
pathway into that work.
And I love
Okay.
biology too. I can't discredit that. But yeah, mainly through ministry, I was able to, I guess, open my eyes to a lot of different opportunities that made me here today.
That's great.
So I'm curious about one more thing with you. So you mentioned about you talked about how you didn't like visualizing working in healthcare settings around dealing with people, but it seems like you have engaged with a lot of people on campus over the time. So has that evolved?
I think it's very different when you work in a setting or when you want to be in a setting
Okay.
of people like that.
That's interesting.
Like I love helping people, I do. But I've also realized I don't want to work in healthcare like that for the rest of my life. My mom's a nurse, and so it's,
So you really
like-
have a lot of knowledge about what it's like.
yeah, she tells me a lot. And it's just the doctor's office too. It's not even a hospital. And I'm like, well, I like research, I like bacteria, and they don't talk back to you. And so it's a nice gig, I think.
Yeah. So we've had a couple questions come in.
Oh,
Great.
goodness.
And I think I'm going to take two of them and in some sense put them together. You can pick either part of this. So the first question is, what is the most important lesson you've learned at Lewis? And then the last question is, what advice would you give to a future college student? So maybe, what have you learned, and maybe what that learning, how would you use that learning to say, you have a cousin who's a junior or senior in high school right now. What would you say to them about the college experience? So, Juan, maybe.
I know it's probably like you've heard this already, but sometimes like the most obvious things are some of the truest, but it's really be yourself, and you don't understand how much like being like yourself does for you, and you have to realize that not everyone is gonna like you, and you just gotta accept that. And once you accept that and you're able to actually be yourself, you'll be able to meet people that you're actually able to make, good connections with and friends for life, and they're not gonna do you dirty, leave you
Right.
behind and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, be involved like with everything that Lewis has. A lot of people work really hard to make things happen here at Lewis, and like the Society of Physics students, like we're just like-minded people trying to come together to form meaningful relationships, and it's kind of sad to see that go to waste because people, aren't involved and going their separate paths. Like even if it's a commuter school, put in the effort if you want to make valuable connections.
Well, and I think I'm hearing from both. I mean, it's so valuable to me to have you say that, partly because we do have a significant number of commuters here, and I think what both of you represent, and we have a significant number of commuters who get really involved in the life of Lewis. So they don't have to stay at a distance. They don't have to just come in, go to class, go back out to their car. They can really get engaged with people. So Loralei, biggest thing you've learned, and what you would tell a future flyer or anybody going off to college.
I think I agree with Juan. It's kind of like, it took a while for me to learn, but it's like you can't go in with the mindset that you have to please everyone, that you have to show off and be the best college student, especially coming from at least my own experience in high school and whatnot, and just comparing yourself to one another. Like it's like you do as best that you can do. And I mean, my favorite saying is C's get degrees, and that and I'm serious, right? Like, I mean,
Yes.
I'm graduating, right? I did get good grades. I won't say that, but like it's like for real. Like I mean, you get a C in some class, and it's like your whole life is over. But I mean that's not true. No, like I mean,
Definitely not.
no, and it's you can't like compare yourself to others. You just have to go at your own pace and just really find yourself. And I think that's what I really valued, at least here, with meeting so many different types of people. And there's people going to be smarter than you. There's people that aren't, but like overall, the professors are there to help you, and like that's some of their job. I mean, yeah, and I guess for people who want to go to college, it's okay to change your major. It's okay to be undecided, or it's sometimes I love my dad. My dad's a teacher. Sometimes he says, sometimes if you decide that you don't want to go to college, that's okay too. And you just need to find your niche and what you want to do in life. If you do want to go to college, scholarships are great.
Yes. So look for them.
Look for
there
them
are a lot of
because
opportunities,
that's
right?
what. Oh my gosh, that's how I
That's great
paid for my
advice.
schooling here, right?
That's great advice.
Don't pay full price for anything. Subsidized loans, are those the ones you don't need to pay
Yes.
in?
Interest on.
Yeah, get subsidized loans.
Right.
That's what my parents said. Those are the better ones than unsubsidized.
That's right.
Scholarships and grants, then subsidized loans,
Yes.
and then only unsubsidized loans. Yes.
Yeah, only if you have
Smart,
to.
right.
Yeah, that's
Great
yeah,
advice.
that's
Great advice.
I think
no.
it's really interesting that both of you said in a different way, like, because we always talk about how important it is to us at Lewis in general to have people like be self-reflexive while they're students and to get to know yourself better and to what you like and don't like and care about in the world. And it seems you both said a version of that, like it was a really, it's something you put time aside to, whether you wanted to or not, to have that kind of experience of getting to know yourself and the way it relates to your professional goals and all that kind of stuff.
it's exhausting when you try to be not yourself,
Yes.
right? It takes a
Yes.
lot more energy, and it's like,
Yeah.
why bother?
And so incredible wisdom here. I mean, obviously, you're two of the kind of best and brightest among us, even though, again, not comparing yourselves, right? But I also want to say that you mentioned earlier, Juan, this whole TikTok phenomenon, how difficult it is for Loralei's dad to be a teacher and anybody to be a teacher, right? But I think what you're saying, and this is something, I find this often when I'm interacting with people my age and older. Oftentimes people will say, "How do you deal with all those students, Dave?" They're, because they view your generation as always on TikTok, can't ever have a conversation, don't really care about anybody but themselves. And I say that's not my experience. Like, I deal with thousands of students, and almost every student I meet. And that doesn't mean they're never on TikTok, right? That's not what I'm saying, but it feels to me like what both of you are saying is you recognize that your friends and peers can be focused on TikTok, can be doing these things, and you've also found people, because you've been yourself, who you like and who are focused on each other and who care about each other, share things in common. And I think that's really important for high school. I mean, to go back to the high school students, they can come to college and they can be themselves, and they don't have to just be focused on social media. Because I think there's this sense that people that are 15 to 20 they're just very, so I don't know if you have any reactions to your own generation. I guess, there's part of me that's, because you're going to be speaking to your peers at graduation, your leaders in our campus, and so I'm interested in your thoughts on your generation in some sense.
I think it's just, I know everyone wants to be happy in life, and it's just that pursuit and trying to find that happiness. And a lot of it comes from social media, I guess. I know I left that a long time ago, and I think that's a big reason why I'm not, why I pursued the things I pursued and why I met the people I met. But I think in order to be happy, you just got to stop comparing yourself to others, like, and getting rid of social media just makes it so much easier. And it's just a matter of, I think it's just growing up, becoming more mature, and that's like the final stage. I know you never figure out you never figure out the big picture of
Yeah, I'm
life.
still trying to figure it out for sure.
But just being able to realize that and being able to know the obvious things, the things we've heard of like a million times already, being able to accept them, finally accept them, you're able to really be happy for yourself as a person, and you're able to focus on what's really important.
Loralei, anything to add to that?
I'm on social media, and you can all follow me on social media.
Okay.
It's just my first name. And I think Juan's right. It's like maturing and realizing, like, I mean, I post for fun, right? Like,
Sure.
I'm not, like, I'd say my younger self was trying to post more to get certain attention, but like, I don't care anymore. I don't care enough. I think I'm funny, and so that's why I post on Snapchat. And I think I'm funny, and I post on TikTok. Like, I mean, that's really like what it is. And I have seen more of this older generation on their phones. I've seen my grandparents on their phones more than me. And so I call false.
Right. I mean,
And
I
like
prefer
try,
that you
like,
don't.
We know what you're saying.
yeah, that, like this. Oh my gosh, all the time when I worked in retail, all the time. So I think that's false.
Well, and again, I guess what I'm saying is that's what I find. I mean, when people come to me, and it's easy for older generations to criticize the younger generation when they don't really ever spend time with them and know them.
I know one thing that's really important that I noticed, because my brother's 13, he's going to be a freshman in high school. The younger generation, so I'm still like a Zoomer, right? But them, they're way more accepting of, more progressive ideas than older people are, and than me even too. Like, I don't really see problems with racism that as bad as it used to be, or with the LGBTQ stuff. Kids they use social media, and that helps them get find their voice, and also find communities within that stuff. So it's not all bad. Like,
No, I agree. I mean, I'm very optimistic, and the reason my optimism comes from spending time with people like you. All right, I spend much of my life with young people, and it gives me great optimism for our future, because I think you're going to do amazing things, both of you and the other 1,000 people that are going to graduate from Lewis this weekend. 1,000. Can you believe that? One of 1,000.
I have to speak in front of 1,000 people.
No,
No,
because
it's-
yours
it's
is
spread out
1/3.
over-
You're 1/3.
Twice.
But that's still altogether 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh my
You could be
You're going to
1,000
do
people.
2/3 of the 1,000.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So that's what I was going to talk about. So in addition to that, stress. What are your thoughts about the weekend? Like, I don't. It's not really a specific. You can share whatever you want, but in terms of family and people, and what, I don't know, just what's on your mind about this last weekend.
I like to block things out until like
You
the
haven't
day
thought
of.
about it yet.
Yeah, to me it doesn't exist. And the day of.
Don't forget to come. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
don't
on
forget to
stage
come.
with us.
I won't.
Put it on your calendar.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad that it's live streamed, because 5 tickets does not include all my family, and so
Yeah.
that's fun. My boyfriend's flying in, so that's exciting.
Where's he flying from?
New York. He actually graduated from here. He's a pilot, and so
He lives in New York now.
yes. Oh yeah.
Nice.
LaGuardia. That's his home.
Don't like that airport myself.
It's a little scary because of how short the runway is, but I said, yeah. I'm just. It's not there yet. It won't hit me yet. It won't hit me until like I'm there, and I might cry while I speak, like I did at Mass. I don't know if you saw me at Mass, but yeah, I was a big crybaby.
Yeah, the whole group was.
Oh my gosh, we were a hot
I kept
mess.
on looking over there, and I'm like, wow, this is intense.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's because it is real.
Yeah, and so I'm not there yet.
Okay. So, any, I guess, closing ideas, thoughts? Chris, you have
I'm
other?
just so grateful for you
Yeah.
being here today, and really look forward to the weekend. I have visualized it entirely, and it's going to be great being on the stage with you. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome speech, no matter what you say, and it's going to be
It's
terrific.
a pretty good
Do you have your speech written?
Yeah.
Of course she
Of
does.
course I do, yeah. No, I do. I actually do. Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's a
excited.
good-
I wanna
it's a
you know,
pretty
one thing
good-
we do here is sometimes we reward people watching live by giving them some information
We could,
before anyone else has it.
yes.
So, any preview of what you're going to say?
I'm talking about cells in my speech.
Cells.
Like-
Biology major perspective.
You're
It's-
not talking about organic chemistry mechanisms, though.
Lord, no.
Okay, so cells. That's good.
I
No,
was
it's
gonna-
cells.
I don't remember them. Sorry, Dr. Kelleher. I don't think he's watching right now, but
You never know.
that's true, and that's the scary part. But yeah, just look out for some.
Cells.
Some
Cell biology.
sounds like a good analogy.
Oh, don't worry, it is.
Hmm.
Brother Phil even said so. So yeah, I got the Brother Phil
You
seal
got
of
the Brother
approval.
Phil
I got the
thumbs up.
brother seal of
Oh,
approval.
awesome.
Wonderful. Well, we look forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this has been really, I mean, again, you do both inspire me. I have to say that, and it's, just incredible, work that you've done over the last 4 years and leadership that you've shown. I mean, which is really important because that leadership brings that next generation. The other people in your clubs and organizations now have something to follow up on. So thank you so much for all you've given to Lewis. All these balloons and celebrations behind you. This is just a little taste of what is going to happen on Saturday. So just a little taste of all that we have to look forward to. So really grateful for our guests today. Grateful to Dr. Sent for being with me. For all of our producers behind the scenes, grateful to all of them. I asked beforehand, none of them are graduating, so we don't have graduates until December of next year. But I want to invite all of you, if you don't have a ticket for this weekend, please join us online. We wish you nothing but the best to all of our graduates, their families, and many blessings to all of you.